Hello everybody, this is Roger Hanson, and hello everybody, this is welcome to the Praetorian. This is Roger Hanson. Today I am doing another video on some of the notes that I have on my Facebook page. This is one of the historical videos that I'm going to make on a usually my historical videos are on current or certain events or personalities, people that were in the past, and today I'm going to do a reading concerning the Sullivan Brothers. There was a song that came out a while back about the Sullivans, and not too many people know it. It was more or less a local song, mostly in this area for southern Illinois, but the story itself is actually a pretty good one, so I wanted to share it with everybody so that they would be able to hear the story, because it's a pretty good one. So I made this note on August the 12th, 2009, and it's called the Sullivan Brothers, and here it goes. Okay, the Sullivan Brothers enlisted on January the 3rd, 1942, with the stipulation that they served together. The Navy had a policy of separating siblings, but this was not strictly enforced. George and Frank had served in the Navy before, but their brothers had not. All five were assigned to the light cruiser USS Juneau, Juneau. The Juneau participated in a number of naval engagements during the months-long Guadalcanal campaign, beginning in August 1942. Early in the morning of November the 13th, 1942, during the naval battle of Guadalcanal, the Juneau was struck by a Japanese torpedo and forced to withdraw. Later that day, as it was leaving the Solomon Islands area for the Allied rear area base at Espiritu Santo with other surviving U.S. warships from battle, the Juneau was struck again, this time by a torpedo from Japanese submarine I-26. The torpedo likely hit the thinly armored cruiser at or near the ammunition magazine, and the ship exploded and quickly sank. Captain Gilbert C. Hoover, skipper of the U.S. cruiser Helena, and senior officer present in the battle-damaged U.S. task force, was skeptical that anyone had survived the sinking of the Juneau, and believed it would be reckless to look for survivors, therefore exposing his wounded ships to a still lurking Japanese submarine. Therefore, he ordered his ships to continue on towards Espiritu Santo. Helena signaled a nearby U.S. B-17 bomber on patrol to notify Allied headquarters to send aircrafts or ships to search for survivors. Approximately 100 of Juneau's crew had survived and were left in the water. The B-17 bomber crew, unwillingly to disobey orders not to break radio silence, did not pass the message about searching for survivors to their headquarters until they had landed several hours later. The crew's report of the location of possible survivors was mixed in with other pending paperwork actions and went unnoticed for several days. It was not until days later that headquarters staff realized that the search had never been mounted, and belated ordered aircraft to begin searching for the area. In the meantime, Genoese survivors, many of whom were seriously wounded, were exposed to the elements, hunger, thirst, and repeated shark attacks. 8 days after the sinking, 10 survivors were found by PBY Catalina search aircraft and retrieved from the water. The survivors reported Frank, Joe, and Matt died instantly. Al drowned the next day, and George survived for 4 or 5 days. Security required that the Navy not reveal the loss of the USS Juneau or the other ships so as not to provide information to the enemies. Letters from the Sullivan sons stopped arriving at home, and the parents grew worried. The brothers' parents were notified of their death on January the 12th, 1943. That morning, the boys' father, Thomas, was preparing to go to work when the 3 men in uniform, a lieutenant commander, a doctor, and a chief petty officer, approached his front door. "I have some news for you about your boys," the naval officer said. "Which one?" asked Thomas. "I'm sorry," the officer replied. "All 5. The brothers left a sister, Genevieve. Albert was survived by a wife and son. Genevieve. The brothers left a sister, Genevieve. Albert was survived by a wife and son. The fighting Sullivan brothers were national heroes. President Franklin Roosevelt sent a letter of condolences to Tom and Aletta. Pope Plus 8 sent a silver religious medal and rosary with his message of regret. The Iowa Senate and House adopted a formal resolution of tribute to the Sullivan brothers. Thomas and Aletta Sullivan made speaking appearances at war plants and shipyards on behalf of the war effort. Later, Aletta participated in the launching of a destroyer, USS the Sullivan, named after her sons. It's like I said, I thought you guys would like to hear that story. It's pretty good. I remember hearing about shark attacks and sailors being caught out in the water and stuff, and that was one of the incidents that happened, and out of 100 men, 10 were pulled out. So with that, I will say thank you for listening. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, share, make comments, give a thumbs up. We'd like to hear what you have to say. Feedback is welcome. Thanks for listening.